It's the month of June, and what we are preparing for is Juneteenth celebrations. Do you know very much about it? Well, Charlotte has had a Juneteenth celebration now for almost 2 decades, but there is a wonderful one that will be in Gaston County. This one in Belmont at the end of this month. So we wanted you to know about it because it's important. It's not only part of our history, but it's also part of a city and a community not only paying homage, but also bringing people out to know each other better. So the Belmont Juneteeth Committee, along with the city of Belmont, will put on this event at the end of the month. And joining us today to talk a little bit about it is one of the Belmont Juneteeth Committee members, Delta Saunders. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, Bea. I'm glad to be here.
Tell me this, in the decision to have a Juneteenth celebration in Belmont, what precipitated it? I mean, people have heard of Juneteenth. Many have come to the one in Charlotte, but now Belmont's going to have one. Talk with me about how we got to this point.
Well, the idea actually came about really about 4 years ago, and it was brought to the city of Belmont by former city councilman Anna Young, and we did execute 3 previous events, but this year we are really basically rebranding the event to make it the cultural festival that it should be and will be moving forward.
Belmont has a lot of history of its own in Gaston County, too, when it comes to the textile industry, and people of color were involved in that, too. Tell me how this fits in with what Belmont is about today.
Well, Belmont, as you may know, is a very vital city. We have several things going on. It's being re-energized and reinvented with new businesses throughout the city. A lot of the old textile facilities are being converted to other type business spaces.
Yeah.
And so this is just an ideal time, particularly on the 150th anniversary of Juneteenth, to really make this event all that it should be for not only the residents of Belmont, but we're hoping that the entire county of Gaston County will come out, along with Lincoln and Cleveland counties as well.
Now talk with me, Delta, about the length of it. We're talking how many days and what days will we get started?
We are actually going to be contained to Saturday, June 27th, and 2 p.m. and continue until 9 p.m. We have a series of concerts throughout the day facing into the park and the festival. We finish with a 7 p.m. concert that faces the amphitheater hill in Stowe Park.
Oh, I was going to say, which park are we talking about that it would be located in?
Stowe Park in downtown Belmont, 24 South Main Street.
Now, throughout the day with different performances, things for kids to do as well?
Absolutely. We are going to have the drum circle that's going to be led by Kojo Bay of Drums for Life, and that's certainly a family type event, but the park has lovely playground equipment. We will have a bounce house. We're going to have some face painting, and we're working on adding some additional things as well, but it certainly will be friendly for children as well.
And I'm always curious about events for seniors or things that would catch their attention as well. Anything specifically for seniors?
Well, the entire event itself, again, is going to be inviting to everyone because we're going to have our culture on display. And the music is going to cross all generational lines. We're going to have some jazz. We're going to have some great R&B. We're going to have some great soul music. It's really going to cover all aspects of the musical genre, and there will be something for everyone.
Usually at festivals, it's a great time to find small business owners and vendors. Are we going to see very many vendors at the Belmont Juneteenth?
We are. We have a great selection of vendors, and there are some limited spaces available, and we'll work to fill those up until probably this Monday, the 22nd of June. So for any vendors who are listening, visit cityofbelmont.org for our vendor application, and be sure and complete that. We would love to have you there. So, yes, it's just going to be great. And a favorite of mine also be the food vendors, and we have a wonderful selection of food. We are most excited that we're going to have Dave and Fran's Soul Food Cafe there. Many people may remember them from their restaurant that they had in Stowe Park. So they are just one of the many, many food vendors that we will have there as well.
Now, one question I have for some folks, does that preclude them from bringing their own picnic baskets if they want to?
No, absolutely. People are welcome. Certainly for the evening concert, that's something that typically happens. Bring your blankets, your camp chairs, and things like that. But we're going to have plenty of offerings there for you that will feature a variety as well. As I mentioned, Dave and Fran's will have the soul food there. There will be vendors with some of your typical festival-type fare and some healthy options for you as well.
Now, I'm curious about the historical aspect of it. Any type of display or something that will be for people to look and know the history of Juneteenth if they don't realize it. You made mention of the fact that it is the 150th anniversary of Juneteenth, which for those of you who may not be aware, it was when word was taken to Texas to let black folks know that the war was over and they were no longer slaves, but it didn't happen until 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. And some history notes that I found that I thought was very interesting. There were black soldiers from North Carolina who were part of the Buffalo Soldiers who helped to take the word to Texas. So there is a connection between North Carolina and that announcement of Juneteenth in Texas. So I'm kind of curious, anything there that will, if somebody wanted to walk up and say, what is the background or the history? Any type of displays for historical content?
Well, the committee itself will host a booth at the event where we will be sharing the information for anyone who does not know. The opening ceremony will include the history of Juneteenth as well. And you mentioned the Buffalo Soldiers. We are actually expecting some members of the Buffalo Soldiers motorcycle club to be at the event. And we're not sure if they're coming on their live horses or their still horses, but they will be present as well.
I suggest they'll probably be on their iron horses on that Saturday. If they are a part of a motorcycle club, they'll be on the bikes as well. And you said starting at what time again there, Delta?
2 p.m.
At Stowe Park there in Belmont.
Yes.
Now, how do you get to Stowe Park? For those who are new transplants to the region and you want to be a part of this, if you're coming from Charlotte, the first thing I'd tell you is you got to cross the river, whether you're going Wilkinson Boulevard or you're going 85, cross over the Catawba River. Now, take us from there.
Okay, so if you're crossing the Catawba River on 85, you would take the Belmont Abbey exit, and then you would head towards downtown Belmont, and you will actually come to a fork in the road that we refer to as the Point in Belmont, and it really doesn't matter which direction you go, right or left. Eventually, you're going to intersect with Myrtle Street, and you will be able to take Myrtle if you're going to the right. Just take a left on Myrtle. That will take you down to Stowe Park. If you take the right hand of the fork, it will take you right into downtown and right in front of Stowe Park.
So there will be signage and some volunteers to sort of tell the people who look like they're lost, that look on the face that says, I don't know where I'm going, to sort of direct them, go this way, honey, the park's over here.
Yes, there will be, and there will be a huge banner hanging in the park that will be visible from the street as well.
Tell me this, Delta, what's the most exciting part of this year's Juneteenth celebration for you?
Well, just being privileged enough to be involved in the planning and the preparation, I'm excited about this being the beginning of what's going to be a long-term event in Belmont that will even go beyond the Juneteenth Festival itself into some community outreach type programs. So it's just been a joy to work on the event and to learn more about my own history.
Yeah. Is this the first sort of ethnic Afrocentric event that the city of Belmont has helped to co-sponsor that you're aware of?
That I am aware of, and like I said, this did have a history before, but it's really coming into its own this year.
Okay. Now, once again, give me the website, because for anyone who's listening, you're probably got about a week out, and if you're a vendor, you still have an opportunity to be a part of the Belmont Juneteenth Festival.
That address is cityofbelmont.org.
Wonderful. cityofbelmont.org. Well, Delta Sanders, we greatly appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. And it's got to be exciting for the city of Belmont to have this event and for you and the committee members, because when you're planning something like this, you get all hyped and everything. And as you get closer to the day, it's got to be exciting.
It is exciting. We can hardly contain ourselves or the ideas that we have for future events. And I just want to thank each and every member of that committee. You all know who you are. I want to thank you for your commitment and investment in this year's event and the future success of it as well.
So we're talking Saturday, June 27th, the last Saturday of this month, ladies and gentlemen. There is a Juneteenth festival that will be in Belmont, so make sure you're a part of it. And if you're in the Gas House or anywhere in Gaston County, Cleveland, or Lincoln County, here's something for you to do to celebrate Juneteenth with the city of Belmont. Thanks again, Delta.
Thank you.